The human body is an extraordinary work of art full of wonders, mysteries, and hidden messages. Every heartbeat, step, and breath we take holds more than just biological function. Behind all of that, there is a very subtle form of communication. After the age of 65, the body's language becomes more honest, more intense, and at times, even louder. However, many of us no longer listen, not because we don't care, but because we've grown accustomed to thinking that aches and pains are just a normal part of aging. That forgetfulness is simply a sign of getting older, and that restless sleep is just a side effect of a long night. In reality, all of these could be the body whispering, "Pay attention to me, I need you." These signs don't always appear in big, dramatic forms. They're not always diseases. Sometimes, they're just a step that feels heavier, a cup of tea that seems hotter than usual, or a strange sensation when standing too long. Small signs, but if ignored, they can lead to bigger changes. The body isn't trying to scare us. It's trying to protect us. Now is the time to start listening again, not as someone afraid of aging, but as an individual who wants to continue living a meaningful life. Every signal, every little change, is an opportunity to improve, adjust, and understand. Some might find it hard to sleep at night. Some feel tired even before the day has really begun. Others may notice their emotions swinging more easily, for no apparent reason. None of this is a coincidence. It's all part of the roadmap to a healthier old age as long as we know how to read it. Growing old doesn't mean growing weak. Growing old is an art, and like all art, it requires attention, patience, and appreciation, because this body is not just a vehicle, but our longest companion. It has carried us this far. Now, it asks for one thing: listen to me before it's too late.
One of the earliest and most frequently overlooked messages from the body comes from a surprisingly simple place: the grip of our hands. A grip, something we do every day without a second thought, can, in fact, be a remarkably honest mirror of our overall health. As we grow older, the strength in our hands begins to change. Tasks that once seemed effortless, opening a jar, sweeping the floor, or simply writing with a pen, can suddenly feel more challenging. Not always because of lost habit, but because the body is sending a quiet message: pay attention to me. Modern research has revealed that grip strength is strongly linked to longevity. It's not just a matter of muscle strength, but also closely tied to the nervous system, bone density, and even heart function. A weakening grip may be an early sign of a broader decline in physical function, a silent alarm, one that only becomes clear if we choose to truly listen. Interestingly, many studies show that a decrease in grip strength often comes before more obvious signs of aging. The hands may weaken before the rest of the body begins to feel tired. It's a whisper, not a scream. But here's the good news: grip strength can be rebuilt, not through heavy exercise or intense training, but through simple, mindful habits practiced consistently. Squeezing a small ball, sewing, gardening, twisting open a bottle cap. All of these are gentle activities that can strengthen muscles, stimulate the nerves, and calm the mind. Even things like hand washing dishes or peeling fruit can serve as quiet but effective therapy. Grip strength is more than just a measure of physical ability. It's a symbol of independence, control, and dignity. When we can still hold firmly, it means we are still holding on to our autonomy, to our sense of self. More than that, active hands help keep us connected to the world. It is with our hands that we offer warmth when holding the hand of a loved one. It is with our hands that we shape kindness in the smallest of daily acts. So taking care of our hands and their strength is not just about health. It's about preserving connection, preserving meaning, and preserving dignity as we journey through the later years of life. There is another signal our body gives us, often unnoticed: the way we walk. More specifically, how quickly we move. Walking speed is not just a matter of style or habit. It can be a small window revealing the condition of our entire body, especially the heart, lungs, brain, and metabolism. Take a moment to reflect on your steps recently. Do they still feel as light as they once did? Or are they slower now, more cautious, as if each step requires careful consideration? After the age of 65, a slower walking pace isn't always just a matter of getting older. it can be an early sign of something more serious. Studies from around the world have shown that seniors who begin to walk more slowly than usual face a higher risk of mortality compared to those who maintain a steady pace. Why is that? Because walking at a brisk pace demands coordination between many vital systems, leg muscles, balance, cardiovascular endurance, and of course, brain function. When any of these begin to weaken, the body instinctively slows down as a form of protection. But if this slowing becomes the norm, it can accelerate the overall decline of our health. I once knew an elderly man who walked around a small park behind his house every morning. He never rushed, but his steps were firm and consistent. When asked about it, he simply smiled and said, "If I can still walk fast today, it means my body is still thankful." Such a simple phrase, yet deeply profound, because it's true. The pace of our steps is a daily expression of gratitude. The good news is, just like hand strength, walking speed could be improved, not through marathons or long-distance runs, but through small, conscious commitments. Walk more often. Choose slightly longer routes. Aim to quicken your pace little by little each week. And most importantly, make walking a mindful daily habit. If possible, walk outdoors. Breathe in the fresh air. Feel the sun on your skin. Listen to birds singing or the laughter of children nearby. These are not only good for the body, but also for the soul. Remember, walking fast doesn't mean rushing. It means walking with confidence, with purpose. A steady, brisk step just slightly faster than usual is a sign that our body still wants to move, still wants to live longer and better. The eyes and ears are not just tools for seeing and hearing. They are windows through which we understand the world. But beyond that, they also reflect the condition of our central nervous system. As we reach 65 and beyond, we often begin to notice a decline in both senses. Eyes that were once sharp begin to blur, and ears that were once sensitive begin to dull. While this change may be a normal part of aging, it is not always so simple. If the decline happens more quickly than expected, or if accompanied by other symptoms such as dizziness or confusion, it may be an early sign of brain function decline or degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or even vascular issues in the brain. I once heard a story about a woman who began hearing a ringing in her ears. The sounds around her seemed distant, as if coming from underwater. It turned out the issue wasn't just her ears, but also indicated a slow decline in brain function. She felt disconnected from the world around her, and it affected her overall quality of life. After undergoing thorough examination, early signs of neurological disorders were detected that hadn't been noticed before. We rely heavily on our vision and hearing to navigate life. Without them, much of the color and meaning in life can fade. However, we don't have to let aging take over. There are many steps we can take to slow down the decline of these senses, such as regular checkups, using aids like glasses or hearing devices, and maintaining brain health with a good lifestyle. We can take care of our eyes by avoiding prolonged screen time and giving them regular breaks. Similarly, our ears need protection from excessive noise, such as using earplugs in noisy environments. Additionally, stimulating the brain by reading, solving puzzles, or engaging in regular conversation can help maintain sharpness of both senses. Caring for our vision and hearing isn't just about maintaining bodily functions. It's about preserving our connection to the world, to our loved ones, and to life itself. Because in our later years, losing the ability to see and hear doesn't just mean the decline of senses. It also means a reduction in the quality of our relationships and social interactions. So, let's give more attention to these two windows of life, because through them, we stay connected to the world and to ourselves. Unintentional weight loss is often overlooked, but after the age of 65, this change can be a critical signal from the body. Pants that start to feel loose, cheeks that appear more hollow, and people saying, "You look slimmer now, so fresh," may sound like compliments, but if there's been no change in diet or physical activity, it could indicate something more serious. In older adults, sudden weight loss can be a sign of muscle loss, unhealthy metabolic slowdown, or even hidden conditions like thyroid disorders, diabetes, heart disease, or cancer. Many seniors experience reduced appetite, changes in taste, or find eating less enjoyable, leading to a gradual loss of body mass without realizing it. Ironically, this is the stage of life when the body needs the most nutrition and a stable weight to maintain its functions. I once met an elderly man who lost nearly 10 kilograms over a few months without any complaints, only to find out it was the early sign of a metabolic disorder. Thankfully, he recognized it early enough to get treatment and improve his eating habits. That's why awareness is crucial, because the body doesn't always scream. Sometimes it only whispers through subtle changes. So, if you or a loved one begins to lose weight without a clear reason, don't hesitate to seek medical attention. Maintaining weight in later years isn't about appearance. It's about ensuring the body has enough strength to face each day with energy, vitality, and a sense of empowerment. There's one simple way to assess the condition of both your body and brain, and you can do it right now, with no special equipment. Try standing on one leg for 10 seconds without holding on to anything. If it feels easy, your body is telling you, "I'm still in control. I can still stand with confidence." But if you start to wobble, need support, or can't hold the position at all, your body is sending an important message. The ability to maintain balance, especially when standing on one foot, is closely connected to the function of the cerebellum, the nervous system, and core muscle strength. After age 65, this ability naturally declines. However, if it diminishes too quickly or drastically, it could be a sign that your coordination is weakening. And this isn't just about standing, it's directly linked to the risk of falling, serious injuries, and even life expectancy. There are many cases where someone seemed perfectly healthy, but a simple loss of balance in the bathroom or the stairs changed everything. A broken hip, a head injury, or lasting trauma can severely impact one's quality of life. And often, it starts with one small thing: the body's lost ability to stand firmly on one leg. I once met an elderly man who made balance training part of his daily routine. Every morning, he stood on his porch, lifting one leg like a crane or taking deep breaths. "It's not about style," he told me once. "It's about reminding my body that I'm still here, still standing." His words were simple, but deeply meaningful. Balance exercises can be done by anyone, anywhere. They don't require much time, just 1 or 2 minutes a day. You can start by standing on one foot while holding on to something. Then gradually try to let go. Try it while brushing your teeth or watching TV. Small moments that can lead to big changes. Remember, your ability to maintain balance is a symbol of a stable life. When you can stand firmly on one foot, it's not just physical training, it's a quiet affirmation that you still have control over your own path, one step at a time. Nighttime is supposed to be a sanctuary, a time for the body and mind to rest completely. But after the age of 65, night can quietly turn into a battleground. Sleep, which once came easily, now often arrives late, is interrupted frequently, or leaves you waking up feeling more tired than before. Disrupted sleep patterns aren't just a matter of comfort. They can be an early sign of something deeper happening behind the scenes in your body. Sleep disturbances in older adults can stem from many causes: hormonal changes, unresolved stress, or even early signs of neurological conditions like dementia or Parkinson's disease. And what many don't realize is that poor sleep can actually accelerate the aging of every organ in the body. The liver, heart, kidneys, and especially the brain all need quality sleep to repair, cleanse, and reset. Without enough rest, the body doesn't have time to regenerate cells, flush out brain toxins, or balance crucial hormones like cortisol and melatonin. I once heard the story of an elderly woman who found herself waking up at every night without any clear reason. She would just sit in her living room, staring into the dark sky, feeling restless but not knowing why. Eventually, it was discovered that her body was simply exhausted from never reaching deep sleep. And more importantly, she was holding on to a lot of unspoken worries. It turned out that sleep is not only a physical need, but also a matter of the heart. The problem is, many seniors accept poor sleep as a normal part of aging and choose to ignore it. But sleep patterns can and should be improved. It starts with simple steps: maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, avoiding screens before bed, and creating calming nighttime rituals like taking a warm bath, sipping herbal tea, or reading a light book. Even something as simple as listening to soft rain sounds or gentle instrumental music can make a world of difference. And if sleep problems persist, don't hesitate to talk to a doctor. Sometimes the solution is as simple as adjusting your diet, changing the lighting in your bedroom, or reviewing medications for side effects. Because in truth, restful sleep is right at every age, and in our later years. Sleep is not just rest, it is the most powerful, affordable, and essential form of natural care. We have to preserve our health and improve the quality of the life we still have ahead. Next point. Vision and hearing are not just tools for seeing and listening. They are our windows to understanding the world. But more than that, they also reflect the condition of our central nervous system. As we reach the age of 65 and beyond, we often start noticing a decline in these two vital senses. Eyes that once saw clearly may start to blur. Ears that used to catch every detail may begin to dull. But these changes are not always just a normal part of aging. Sometimes they're the first signs of declining brain function or even the early stages of degenerative diseases. We often accept vision or hearing loss as a natural part of growing older, but if this decline happens more rapidly than expected, or is accompanied by other symptoms like dizziness or confusion, it could point to something more serious. A rapid loss of sight or hearing might signal underlying problems in the cerebellum, or early onset of neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, or even vascular issues in the brain. I once heard the story of a woman who began experiencing ringing in her ears and a sense that sounds were coming from underwater. It turned out the issue wasn't just in her ears, it was linked to a slow, progressive decline in brain function. She felt increasingly disconnected from the world around her, which greatly impacted her quality of life. Upon further examination, early signs of an undiagnosed neurological condition were discovered. Vision and hearing are two senses we rely on so much. Without them, we lose vital forms of interaction that bring color and meaning to our lives. While aging does change many things, we don't have to surrender so easily. There are steps we can take to slow down the decline: routine eye and ear checkups, using aids like glasses or hearing devices, and keeping the brain healthy with better lifestyle habits. Protect your eyes by limiting screen time and giving them regular breaks. Your ears also need care. Avoid exposure to loud noise and wear a protection in noisy environments. Brain exercises like reading, doing puzzles, or engaging in conversation can also help. Preserve the sharpness of your senses in a more holistic way. We must remember that caring for our vision and hearing is about preserving our connection to the world, to the people we love, and to life itself. In old age, losing the ability to see and hear isn't just about sensory decline, it's about losing the richness of relationships and experiences. So let's give these two vital windows the attention they deserve. Our voice is one of the simplest yet most powerful tools. We have to connect with the world. But when your voice becomes hoarse, raspy, or speaking feels more difficult, especially without a sore throat, it could be more than just fatigue. These changes might be early, Signs of neurological conditions like Parkinson's or motor nerve disorders. There was a 70-year-old man who ignored his persistent hoarseness, thinking it was just overuse. Months later, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Thankfully, early treatment and speech therapy helped him regain better communication and quality of life. Our bodies are always sending messages, even if they're small or subtle. Voice changes, declining grip strength, unusual fatigue. These signs matter. Paying attention to them isn't just about living longer, but about living well, with health, clarity, and joy. When we listen to our bodies and act early, we protect our future and preserve the life we want to live, one that's rich, meaningful, and full of connection.